This is TV Platinum. Here are the top 5 stories making the headlines.
On number 1, the Nigerian Senate has mourned on Wednesday the passing of Honorable Olaide Odewale Akinremi, popularly known as Jagaban, who was a member of the House of Representatives. Honorable Jagaban, who represented Ibadan North Federal Constituency of Oyo State, died in the early hours of Wednesday after a brief illness at the age of 52. Before suspending legislative activities, Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele informed his colleagues that the Senate had received communication from the House of Representatives notifying them of Akinremi's passing. After observing a minute's silence in honor of the deceased, Senate President Akpabio adjourned plenary until Thursday, July 11, 2024. On number 2, the House of Representatives Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development questioned the Minister of Women Affairs Uju Kennedy Ohanenye over the non-payment of 1.5 billion naira to contractors despite fund release. During the session, the committee probed the minister about unrelated expenditures, including 45 million naira for New Year party, 20 million naira for sanitary pads, and 1.5 million naira for vehicle fuel. The committee also sought clarification on funds appropriated for the African First Ladies Mission and the whereabouts of the 1.5 billion naira meant for contractors. The minister denied allegations of misappropriation, overspending, and non-payments to contractors. The procurement officer confirmed contractors' claims, and the Director of Finance and Administration acknowledged only paying approved contracts. Following the heated session chaired by Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, the meeting was adjourned till further notice. On number 3, the Kaduna State House of Assembly has reaffirmed its report indicting former Governor Nasir El-rufai of alleged diversion of over 400 billion naira. The House dismissed claims made by political appointees in a press briefing in Abuja, stating that their desperate attempt to denigrate the House and cover up the alleged fraud perpetrated by the El-rufai government represented no one but themselves. They said in quote, "If they genuinely have the interest of Kaduna State and are truly men and women of integrity, they would have applied themselves to developing the state instead of participating in the alleged pilfering of its scarce resources," the House asserted, end of quote. On number 4, the federal government announced that food items to be imported into the country over the next 150 days will be subjected to recommended retail prices to combat the high cost of food in Nigeria. This decision followed concerns raised by Senator Ali Ondome, representing Borno South Senatorial District, who alleged that food crisis was exacerbated by President Bola Tinubu's inaccessibility for advice from lawmakers and cabinet ministers. Recently, the government suspended import duties and taxes on food items such as rice and wheat to alleviate food crisis. And lastly, the Supreme Court will today deliver its judgment on the suit filed by the federal government seeking full autonomy for the 774 local government areas in the country. The Apex Court notified the federal government of the judgment day through the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, while state governors were informed through their respective Attorneys General. A 7-man panel of the court, led by Justice Garba Lawal, had on June 13 reserved judgment on the matter after all parties adopted their final briefs of argument. The states, in separate preliminary objections, have sought the dismissal of the suit with substantial costs.
Those are the top stories. Do subscribe and follow us across all our platforms to get more of this update.